Thank you for watching my revision of my textbook I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. A Bible Believer Looks at World History, which I sell on Amazon and Lulu.com. And I want to see what things I want to change, add, or dig deeper into, just kind of reviewing this in my head. So, why bring up the history of baptismal regeneration and infant baptism at this point? Because these doctrines are the basis for the murder of millions of dissenters during the period of the Christian church. In fact, the entire concept of the power inherent in the act of baptism itself becomes an issue of history, the neglect of which study renders so much history, particularly wars of religion in Europe, as undecipherable. One of the most famous comparative mythologists of the present day, and someone whose name you will undoubtedly see again, he's not alive now, but he was for the last 50 years. He was pretty important. If you pursue your study of history at a college or something like that, institutional higher learning, is Joseph Campbell. Now, his works include The Hero with a Thousand Faces, where he discounts all religion as being connected to common mythology. He reaches different conclusions because he does not believe the Bible, but he does touch at times upon the commonality of mankind's religion. And even though he regards Satan himself as a mythic character and missed Satan's grand conspiracy against God, which mankind has so cheerfully gone along with, he would agree that much of it is simply the same religion with different names. Do not look for someone like Campbell to bolster your faith. He has nothing but contempt for it, as does Durant. But when you read these men and women's work, discounting Jesus Christ as a mythic figure, merely remember the admonitions of 2 Corinthians 4, 3, and 4. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, and whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Unquote. Satan continues to counterfeit the word of God in every aspect, and the religions of the world, the philosophy, and the political all reflect this continuing effort to deceive mankind. Now, before I get into my next topics, going from Nebuchadnezzar II all the way through Antiochus Epiphanes, I think you should consider, what are some of the things we've talked about in the last few sessions? Like, can you say what medieval English battle of the War of the Roses calls to mind the foolishness of the non-believing scholar skepticism about the Syrian disaster at Aphek, recorded in 1 Kings 20:30? Or in 776 BC, what event took place that at least one Latin historian claimed was the beginning of recorded Greek history? What are the Vedas? What topics do the Indian Upanishads cover? What culture is considered the forerunner of all Mesoamerican civilizations? And the Etruscans may have emigrated from where? And what is baptismal regeneration? So these are things that I've tried to cover in these past few sessions, and I hope that you picked up on them and you're able to. If you want to post them in the comments, that's fine. But I would just want you to think about them. Okay. So next we'll get into this what I said and what I talked about Nebuchadnezzar II to Antiochus Epiphanes, and I hope you'll click like if you watch this video. Thank you.